You think you're being a polite senior passenger? Think again. International train conductors have a secret list of passenger behaviors that drive them absolutely insane, and most come from well-meaning older travelers who have no idea they're causing major problems. You think you're being a polite senior passenger? Today we're revealing the 10 things conductors secretly hate that senior passengers do on overnight cross-border journeys. Some seem harmless but can actually get you removed from the train, while others cost conductors precious time they need for safety checks. I've spent over 8 years interviewing railway staff across Europe and Asia, and what they told me about senior passenger habits will shock you. These aren't just pet peeves. They're behaviors that can seriously impact your long-distance train experience. Let's dive in. 1. The passport panic routine. Here's the scene that drives conductors crazy on every international route. A senior passenger boards the overnight train from Berlin to Vienna, settles into their sleeper compartment, and when the conductor arrives at the border for passport control at 3 in the morning, chaos erupts. They can't find their documents. Suddenly, they're digging through every pocket, every bag compartment, every purse section while the conductor waits in the narrow corridor. Meanwhile, the train is held up, other passengers are woken up, and border officials are getting impatient. One conductor told me about a passenger who had hidden their passport so well in their luggage that they spent 40 minutes searching before finding it tucked inside a medicine bottle. The conductor's job is to keep the train on schedule, not play hide-and-seek with your travel documents. Keep your passport accessible during border crossings. 2. Treating the sleeper compartment like home. Senior passengers often turn their overnight train compartment into a complete home away from home, and conductors hate cleaning up the aftermath. We're talking about unpacking everything from the suitcase, spreading personal items across every surface, hanging wet clothes on every available hook, and leaving food containers scattered around. One conductor described walking into a compartment where a passenger had set up a full skincare routine on the tiny sink, complete with multiple bottles and towels everywhere. The problem is that conductors have just minutes to prepare each compartment for the next passenger at the end station. When they walk into what looks like someone lived there for a month instead of one night, it creates a massive delay. International trains operate on tight schedules, and excessive messmaking affects everyone down the line. 3. The medicine cabinet emergency. Nothing frustrates conductors more than senior passengers who treat them like personal pharmacists during long-distance journeys. Picture this scene from the Paris to Madrid overnight route. A passenger presses the call button at 2 in the morning because they can't remember if they took their blood pressure medication. They want the conductor to help them figure out their pill schedule, count their remaining doses, or even worse, ask for medical advice about interactions. Conductors are not medical professionals, yet senior passengers constantly put them in impossible situations where they feel responsible for health decisions. One conductor shared a story about a passenger who wanted him to call a doctor because their arthritis was acting up during the journey. Train staff are trained for safety and service, not healthcare. Bring a clear medication schedule and don't put conductors in positions where they might accidentally give dangerous advice about your health. 4. The technology translation service. International train conductors speak multiple languages, but they're not personal technology support specialists. Yet senior passengers constantly expect them to become instant experts on every smartphone, tablet, and device they bring aboard. One conductor told me about spending 30 minutes trying to help a passenger connect to the train's wireless internet because they couldn't understand the login process. Another passenger wanted help downloading and using the railway company's mobile app to track their journey progress. The conductor had to explain the same steps 5 times, while other passengers waited for actual train-related assistance. Some passengers even expect conductors to help them make video calls to family members or troubleshoot their device problems. These staff members are responsible for safety checks, ticket validation, and border procedures. They're not a traveling information technology support team for passengers who refuse to learn basic technology skills before embarking on international journeys. 5. Hoarding compartment resources. Senior passengers have a habit of claiming every available resource in their sleeper car section, And conductors are tired of the daily battles this creates. They take all the extra pillows from neighboring empty compartments, gather multiple blankets even when traveling alone, and sometimes even remove amenities from common areas to stock their personal space. One conductor described a passenger who had collected 6 pillows and 4 blankets in a single compartment, leaving nothing for other travelers. When confronted, the passenger claimed they needed everything for medical reasons. The worst part is when they start hoarding basic supplies like toilet paper, towels, or complimentary snacks from the dining car. International trains carry limited supplies calculated for the number of passengers, not for individuals who decide to take extras just because they can. This behavior forces conductors to play resource police, checking compartments and redistributing items while trying to maintain professional customer service attitudes. It's selfish behavior disguised as preparation. 6. The boarding time drama. Every international train station has clear boarding procedures, but senior passengers often create unnecessary drama that delays departure times. They arrive at the platform 30 minutes early and then complain loudly when they can't board immediately. They argue with conductors about platform numbers, even when electronic displays clearly show the information. Some passengers insist on boarding through the wrong car entrance, and then get upset when they have to walk through multiple carriages to reach their assigned compartment. The most frustrating scenario happens when passengers ignore boarding announcements in multiple languages, then panic and rush toward the train at the last minute. One conductor shared a story about a couple who spent 15 minutes arguing about which platform their train was leaving from, despite confirmation being clearly displayed on their tickets and announced over the station speakers. This creates stress for everyone and forces conductors to make quick decisions about whether to delay departure for confused passengers. 7. Treating food service like fine dining. International trains offer meal service, but senior passengers often have unrealistic expectations that drive dining car staff and conductors crazy. They want extensive menu modifications, detailed ingredient lists, and personalized service that simply isn't possible in a moving kitchen serving hundreds of passengers. Some passengers bring their own complicated dietary restrictions and expect the train staff to accommodate every specific need, even when advance notice wasn't provided. One conductor told me about a passenger who wanted the chef to prepare a completely different meal because the scheduled dinner didn't match their particular diet plan. They demanded to speak with the kitchen supervisor and held up service for other diners. Train dining cars operate with pre-planned menus and limited ingredients. When passengers treat the experience like a restaurant where they can make unlimited special requests, it disrupts service for everyone else and puts unfair pressure on staff who are trying to serve an entire train car efficiently. 8. The constant complaint commentary. Some senior passengers turn their entire journey into a running commentary of complaints, and conductors hear every single grievance multiple times per shift. They complain about the temperature, the noise, the schedule, the food quality, the compartment size, and basically every aspect of train travel. What makes it worse is when they compare everything to how trains operated decades ago or how much better flights supposedly are. One conductor described a passenger who spent an entire overnight journey from Amsterdam to Prague, providing detailed criticism about every service aspect, from the pillow firmness to the coffee temperature. The passenger kept calling for the conductor to document each complaint for management review. Train staff want passengers to have good experiences, but constant negativity affects crew morale and takes time away from helping passengers with legitimate problems. International train travel has specific limitations, and endless complaining doesn't improve the infrastructure or change operational realities. 9. Misunderstanding border procedures. Cross-border train travel involves specific procedures that senior passengers often misunderstand, creating problems for conductors and border officials. Some passengers think they can sleep through border crossings and get upset when conductors wake them for passport control. Others become argumentative when asked to open luggage for customs inspection, claiming their age should exempt them from security procedures. The most problematic situation occurs when passengers don't understand visa requirements and blame train staff when they're denied entry into certain countries. One conductor shared a story about a passenger who boarded an international train without checking visa requirements for their destination country. When border officials refused entry, the passenger demanded that the conductor resolve the immigration problem. Train staff cannot override government border policies, yet passengers often act like conductors have diplomatic authority. These misunderstandings create delays, upset other passengers, and put conductors in impossible positions where they're blamed for problems beyond their control. 10. The luggage assistance expectation. Senior passengers often board international trains with excessive luggage and then expect conductors to provide personal porter service throughout the journey. They bring multiple heavy suitcases, shopping bags, and personal items, then call for help moving everything each time they want to access something. Some passengers pack their belongings in ways that require unpacking half their luggage to reach basic items, then expect conductors to help with the reorganization process. One conductor told me about a passenger who brought 6 pieces of luggage on an overnight train and requested help accessing different bags at least 10 times during the journey. The passenger had packed their medication at the bottom of one suitcase, their snacks in another bag, and their entertainment items in a third container. Conductors are responsible for safety, security, and service for entire train cars, not personal assistance for passengers who pack inefficiently. International train travel requires self-sufficiency, especially regarding personal belongings and luggage management throughout long journeys. These conductor insights could change your next international train experience completely. Railway policies and passenger expectations shift constantly, and what worked on your last journey might cause serious problems this time. The conductors I interviewed said these behaviors are getting worse each season, and some passengers are being refused service or even removed from trains. Don't let these mistakes ruin your long-distance travel plans or damage your relationship with train staff who control your comfort and safety. If you found these conductor secrets helpful, please hit that like button right now and subscribe for more insider railway travel tips. Drop a comment below with which mistake you've seen other passengers make, and let me know your favorite international train route. I read every comment and respond personally. Your support helps me create more content that makes long-distance train travel safer and more enjoyable for senior passengers like you.